kab.tv or ordered by phone. We're reading the book of Zohar, volume 5, the portion of Truma, the nation, item 101. Questions can be asked on kab.tv, and some questions may be asked here during the lesson as well. Rav. And again, we remind everyone, whomever is listening to this Zohar lesson, that the main thing for us is to yearn for the reforming light, which is so great when we read this book. And according to how much we think of wanting to connect, and from our connection by it to attain qualities which are similar to the Creator's, the light will affect us and will advance us towards this goal. So please. Again, Book of Zohar, portion of Truma, 101. Henceforth, God of thanksgivings, this is the upper king, a king that all the peace is his, as it is written, the Song of Songs, which is Solomon's, the king that peace is his, Zerampin. This is so because all those praises that were previously of the assembly of Israel, Malchut, when she is complemented with accounts below, from then on, he forms light and creates darkness. These are the corrections of the upper world, Zerampin, 102. Aleph Bet, at the beginning of the words El Baruch, a blessed God, great in view, are corrections of the lower world, Malchut, since the beginning of the letters are 22 small letters, for there are big letters and small letters. The small letters are in the lower world, Malchut. The big letters are in the next world, Binah. 103. They are great in everything for two reasons. They are big letters in themselves, even when they come in units, and they are big when these letters expand further. Each letter comes in its appropriate merkava, or structure, the praise of Shabbat, for these are the letters of praise, God, master of all deeds, blessed, Bet is blessed, and blessed in the mouth of the whole of the soul. These letters expand in 5 and 5 words. Since there are 5 words in God, Master, in Hebrew, as well as in blessed and blessed, these correspond to the 50 gates of the next world, Binah, the 5 Sfirot Kachabtum, each of which comprises 10. 104. 2 other letters, which are at the end of the praise of God Master, Shin Taf, are in 6 words, corresponding to the Vak Chagat Nehi of the next world, Binah, and come out of there. Shin is the whole of the hosts above will give him Shevach, or praise. Taf is Tiferet, magnificence, greatness, seraphim, and holy animals. 105. These are the 2 letters Shin Taf in 6 letters. The first 2 letters, Aleph Bet, are in 5 letters, and the rest of the letters are in the middle. All of them are in 4 letters, since they are in the upper Merkava, since the first letters, Aleph Bet, which are 10, and those Shin Taf in the end, which are 12, complete together the 22 letters, because there are 22 words in them corresponding to the upper 22 letters that are in Binah. There remain 18 other letters in the middle, which rise in their Merkava, meaning in their expansion into 4 words, which are 72 words altogether. This is so because 18 times 4 is 72, the explicit name, the holy engraving of the 72 letters in which the Creator is crowned. This name crowns the assembly of Israel, Malchut, and rises to be crowned in them inside the wholeness of divinity. 106. These are the letters that are crowned in the upper praise, the first ones, which are Aleph Bet, and the last ones, which are Shin Taf, which rise in their crowns. They are the combination from Aleph Bet of Aleph Taf Bet Shin. Aleph, spreading in 5 letters, El Adon, God Master. Taf is the 6 letters in Tiferet and Gdula, magnificence and greatness. Bet in 5 letters, Baruch Umvorach, blessed and is blessed. Shin is in the 6 letters, he is given praise. And this is why the Aleph Taf Bet Shin in the praise God Master, in which there are 22 words, are the whole of the 22 letters of the Ampin. These are crowned to the 32 paths of wisdom, since the 32 paths of wisdom are the 22 letters of the Ampin, where 10 Sfirot rose to Binah in her, and 22 and 10 are 32 paths of wisdom, that is, of Binah, that has become Chokhmah. And the 22 letters in Aleph Taf Shin Bet imply the Ampin in Binah, in the praise of God Master. 107. And the other letters beside the Aleph Taf Bet Shin, which rise in their Merkavot, are Gar, beginning with Gimel, Godlo v'tuvo malei olam, his greatness and his goodness fill the world, and end with Eresh, Re'eh v'hitkin surat levana, saw and established the form of the moon. They are all the holy Merkavah, Chagad Ampin, and Malchut that connects with them when they become a Merkavah for Binah and are called Upper Merkavah. Aleph Taf Bet Shin, in the praise God Master, are the holy name Havaya, the Ampin that rose to Binah. The Gar in God Master is the 18 letters from Gimel to Resh. It is the holy Merkavah that amounts to 72, Chagat, in which are the 3 verses, and journeyed, and came, and pitched. The holy name was made of them to crown the assembly of Israel, Malchut, out of the upper Merkavah, where the Malchut receives the 72 words of Chagat, which are the upper Merkavah. 108. For this reason, the name Ab is included in the patriarchs in 3 lines, and Malchut is crowned with them to be a holy name. It is not a superior name like those superior names of the upper world, Zerampin, which grip up above in Binah and do not extend below. And although that name is superior, for it is 3 lines, Chagat de Zerampin, it is still King David, Malchut, who is crowned in the patriarchs, Chagat de Zerampin. This means that it does not concern Chagat themselves, but in relation to Malchut that receives from them. In that respect, it is drawn below. However, Chagat themselves are superior and do not extend below. 109. The name of the 42 letters in the patriarchs, Chagat de Zerampin, the 22 letters that are crowned in the upper world, in the 10 Sfirot de Binah, and the upper world is crowned in the one above it in 10 Sfirot de Chokhmah, 22 of Zerampin, 10 of Binah, and 10 of Chokhmah, which amount to 42. Hence, it rises and does not come down, meaning it does not impart Chokhmah from above downward in Malchut, because it crowns in the upper thought, Chokhmah, upper Abba Ve'ima, which are always covered Chesadim, always in covered Chesadim, since Binah here is Yishsut, and Chokhmah here is upper Abba Ve'ima. Happy is he who knows in it, in the name of 42, and is careful with it. 110. David, Malchut, is crowned with the patriarchs, Chagat de Zerampin. Chagat de Zerampin are 72 words in the 3 verses, and journeyed, and came, and pitched, which give Chokhmah to Malchut. He rises and falls, giving below to Malchut like that matzpatz, who is Havaya on the sides of Rosh De'aba Ve'ima, Rosh De'achampin, which, when joining Aleph Taf Bet Shin, she is matzpatz. She is the name from which the 13 qualities of Chachamim are extended, which are 12 in the Holy Merkavah, Chub Tum, in each of which are 3 lines, which amount to 12. They emerge from the one who is on them, who is matzpatz. And they are 13. She rises and falls to impart Chokhmah from above downwards. This is the reason why Ab goes up and down. Up from the right, Chagad Zerampin, and down from the left, Malchut, who receives the Chagad as the name of the 13 qualities of Chachamim that rise from this side and descend from that side. The one that descends is to extend the good below to Malchut. Hence, in Aleph Bet of Aleph Taf Bet Shin, Gimel Reish, etc., the first letters go up in the count because Bet is higher than the count of Aleph, Gimel than Bet, Daled than Gimel, and so forth. The last letters descend in the count because Shin is less than Taf, Reish is less than Shin, and Kuf is less than Reish, etc. They rise from one side and descend from the other side, and the reason they come down is to extend the good that is above downwards. 111. The name Bembet is crowned for a superior Merkavah, for the upper Chub. The name Ab is crowned for a lower Merkavah, to Malchut. Happy is he who exerts to know his master. Happy is he in this world, and happy is he in the next world. 112. For this reason, the praise of Shabbat, God Master, who praises the king that peace is his, praises him with the name Ab, in the 18 letters from Gimel to Reish, and in the 22 words in the 4 letters in Aleph Taf Bet Shin, which are 22 letters, so he will be crowned in him to rise up to Binah in that name. Hence, God Master is a praise of the next world, Binah, and the ascent of the upper Holy Merkavah, Chagad Zerampin, which is crowned to rise upwards to Binah, and the ascent of the assembly of Israel, Malchut, which is crowned to rise and to receive from the upper Merkavah, Chagad Zerampin. 113. The Aleph Bet of Aleph Taf Bet Shin rise and fall. The last letters in them descend. The Aleph Bet of Aleph Lamed Bet Mem rise and do not fall, meaning that the last letters in them also rise, because from the number Lamed it rises to the number Mem, then to Nun and to Samech, and so on. For this reason, they do not descend to impart below. Aleph Taf Bet Shin is only Shabbat, Malchut, who gives below. Aleph Lamed Bet Mem is Shabbat and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Malchut that rises to Binah, which is Yom Kippur, that goes up above from Binah to Chokhmah until everything is crowned in Ein Sof and is not imparted below.
114. El
Baruch, a blessed God, at the end of the praise which illuminates for the land and for the dwellers, is in the order of Aleph Bet of small letters that are in Malchut. These are the corrections of the assembly of Israel, Malchut, on each day in the prayer. And because they are small letters, there is no space between them. They do not expand each to several words, as with the praise God Master of the Sabbath, the Shabbat. These are the corrections of the maidens, the 7 palaces of Bria that come with the queen, Malchut, to the upper king Zerampin. It is known that during the Katnut of the degrees, the smallness of the degrees, when Malchut rose to Binah, all the degrees divide in 2, and Binah and Tum in each degree fall to the degree below it. It follows that then Binah and Tum of Malchut fell into 7 halls in the world of Bria. And during Gadlut, when the fallen half degrees, Binah and Tum, returned to their degree, they raised with them the lower degree that they were in. Then Binah entombed the Malchut, which were fallen in the seven halls of Bria, rise back to Malchut Datzilut, and raised with them the seven halls of Bria, in which they were clothed during Katnut. This is so because when Malchut comes to the king, Zerampin, during her Gadlut, her Binah and tomb were fallen in the seven palaces of Bria, of Bria, return to their degree in Atzilut, and take with them the seven halls of Bria that they clothed in. These are called seven maidens, and they too come with Binah and tomb, the Malchut, to the king, Zerampin. 115. This Kedusha, this holiness, that the upper angels sanctify, the Kedusha in the blessing Yotzer, Maker, and in the 18 prayer, is not when one is alone. Any Kedusha that is in the holy tongue, a lone man is forbidden to say it. Also, Kedusha, in translation from Aramaic, is always alone and never in company, since the lone man is indeed its correction and not the collective. We learn that two is the Bible and one is translation. Since two is plural, implying that Kedusha, which is indeed in the holy tongue, the Bible, is forbidden when alone, but only in a collective, in 10. Also, Kedusha in translation is deficient in a collective and must always be said only when alone. One is translation, not two or more. The reason is that a translation comes to diminish, and so it should be. The holy tongue comes to multiply, and so it should be, because sanctity is increased, not decreased, and in translation there is decreasing and not increasing, one and not more. Since there is no increase whatsoever. 116. This Kedusha in the blessing Yotzer, Maker, is not the story of the history of the world. Rather, it is Kedusha by which divinity and all her Merkavot are sanctified, to be corrected before the upper king. And because it is the Kedusha of the lower world, Malchut, it is said sitting and not standing. The other Kedusha, which is said at the repeat of the prayer, is Kedusha of the upper world, Zerampin. This is why it is said standing up, to extend the Kedusha below. Also, all the upper words of the upper world, Zerampin, are in standing and not sitting. 117. In all these sanctities, Israel sanctify in them below. For this reason, Israel are sanctified in the Kedusha of the bottom Merkava, Malchut, sitting down, and in the Kedusha of the upper Merkava, Zerampin, standing up. The other Kedusha of "and a Redeemer came to Zion" is an additional Kedusha. For this reason, it comes after the prayer, because it is additional Kedusha over the other Kedushot, it is after the prayer. And because each and every one must extend upon himself from that addition, the Kedusha of translation is established for each and every one. 118. But there is also the Kedusha of the holy tongue in it. This is for the collective. So they are all sanctified with that additional Kedusha. And because an individual is not permitted to say it in the holy tongue and to be sanctified alone, it was established in the language of translation, which is for the lone person, the individual. So each and every one will be sanctified in that addition to extend upon himself more Kedusha. Happy are Israel, who are sanctified in the upper Kedushot, because they cling above, as it is written, "And you that did cleave to the Lord your God are alive, every one of you, this day." Rav, are there any questions? Yes? He talked about translation. What is translation? Rav, in the Torah, there exists the text itself and its translation as well, meaning a special way to convey it. It's not a translation as if from English to Hebrew and so on. These are degrees which are next to one another. Upper, lower, lower and upper degree. Neighboring degrees. Continue. A bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp. 119. It is written, "Behold now, I know that he is a holy man of God who always passes by us." It is also written, "Let us make a little attic, and let us place for him there a bed, and a table, and a chair, and a lamp." With this verse, we have an easy support for the order of the prayer. "Behold now, I know," is the will in which a person should place during the prayer. That he is a holy man of God is the upper world, the Ampin, who sits on his throne, and all the sanctities come out of him, and he sanctifies all the worlds. Who always passes by us means that from that sanctity he sanctifies all the worlds above. He sanctifies us in this world, since there is no Kedusha, holiness or sanctity above, unless there is Kedusha below, as it is written, "And I will be sanctified among the children of Israel." 120. And because this is so, let us make a little attic. This is an order of the correction of divinity, which is called an attic. As it is written, "And Chizkiah turned his face to the wall." Small, because it is small, as is written, a small town. And let us place for him there, by this correction that we correct, and with our order in the singing and praise and prayer, we correct for him, the Ampin, for his contentment. A bed, and a table, and a chair, and a lamp. All of these four are in divinity, who is corrected in all these corrections towards the upper world, the Ampin, in the order that we establish. 121. In the order of the evening prayer and its correction, it is a bed, and in the order of the offerings and the sacrifices that we establish in the morning, these songs and praises are a table. In the order of prayer sitting down, and in the correction of the Shema reading, in the unification that we establish, they are a chair. And in the order of prayer in standing, as well as in those sanctities in the prayer Yotzer, in the repeat of the prayer, in the added Kedusha of "and came to Zion," and the blessings that we establish, they are a lamp. 122. Happy is the man who places his will in that, to complement his master each day and to set up this small attic, divinity, for his master, with those corrections of bed, table, chair, and lamp. Then it is certain that the Creator will be his guest every day. Happy is he in this world, and happy is he in the next world, because those four are corrections of divinity to be corrected for her husband, the Ampin. With these four corrections, she is corrected each day in beauty, in gladness, and in a vision through the holy people. 123. The bed was given to Yaakov to be corrected. For this reason, Yaakov established the evening prayer. King David set up the table through the songs and praises that he established. As it is written, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Avraham set up a chair with his connection when he performed chesed, or grace, and the completeness of the souls for all the people of the world. Also, there is no correction of the throne unless by Avraham's chesed. As it is written, a throne will be established in grace. 124. Yitzchak established the lamp, sanctifying the name of the Creator before the eyes of the whole world and illuminating the light of the upper candle with that sanctity. For this reason, the holy people must always say and place their wish to set up a bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp towards the upper world, the Ampin, the master of the house, the man of God, to have wholeness above and below each day. Rav, questions? Yes. If I see that I can't focus on the reading, what's preferable? Rav, you don't need to focus on the reading, and the reader doesn't have to read it so, to make sure that you listen to every word, you hear it. No, we are studying the upper wisdom. We want it to enter us, so you don't have to take into account the actual sentences and words so much. You just want this text to sanctify you, and that is it. Hear, O Israel, blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever. 125. When Israel make the unification, hear, O Israel, with a complete will, a light comes out of the concealment of the upper world, upper Abba Ve'ima. This is the path of Abba. This light battered within the harsh spark, Yesod De'ima, and was divided into 70 lights, from which the mochin of Yeshut were emanated, meaning Zad De'Abba Ve'ima, Chagat Nehim, where each consists of 10. These 70 lights illuminated in 70 branches in the tree of life, in Chagat Nehim de Ze'ampin, where each comprises 10. 126. At that time, the tree, Ze'ampin, emits fragrances and perfumes, meaning illumination of Chokhmah, called perfume or fragrance, and all the trees in the Garden of Eden, Malchut, emit scents and praise their master Ze'ampin. It is so because then Malchut is established to enter the chuppah, the wedding canopy, with her husband Ze'ampin. And all the upper organs, meaning Sfirot Ze'ampin, unite in one craving and in one desire to be one, without any separation. Then her husband Ze'ampin is corrected towards the Malchut to enter the chuppah in a single unification, to be united in Malchut. There are two zivugim, two couplings, for the extension of mochin to zon. One, a zivug devak de mochin, where even though they include illumination of Chokhmah, they still receive only chasadim. This zivug is called entering the chuppah. 2. A complete zivug degar, who illuminate Chokhmah and chasadim. This is done in the 18 prayer, in the established peace part, for it is impossible to have zivug of gar before there is zivug of vak, demochin. This is the unification, hear, O Israel, which precedes the zivug in the 18 prayer, like chuppah, which must be present prior to the zivug. The root of mochin de zon begins with Abba Ve'ima, Binah, who went outside Rosh de Abba Ve'ima. Had it not been for this exit, there would have been no mochin for zon. The gar in Binah was established as Abba Ve'ima, and her zat as Yeshut. For this reason, when we wish to extend mochin to zon, we must extend them from their root, from Abba Ve'ima, who gives to Yeshut, and Yeshut to zon. And all these degrees, Abba Ve'ima, who illuminate to Yeshut and Yeshut to Zon, awaken while saying, Hear, O Israel, and are implied in it. At that time, extension of mochin from their roots, from Abba Ve'ima, is awakened up to Ze'ampin and up to Malchut. 127. This is the reason why we invoke the Malchut and say, Hear, O Israel, Malchut, since Israel are included in her. We say to the Malchut, fix yourself up, because your husband, Ze'ampin, will come to you with his corrections, and he is ready for you. The Lord, our God, the Lord is one. The Lord is Abba, our God is Ima. The Lord is Ze'ampin, and they are in one unification, one will, without separation. All those organs of Ze'ampin, his Sfirot, became one and enter Yesod, the Ze'ampin, with a single craving. 128. When Israel say, the Lord is one, implying Ze'ampin, with the awakening of Vak that he receives from Abba Ve'ima, who are the Lord our God, since they become one, all those Vak become one and enter with a single craving, Yesod. This is the Vav, indicating Ze'ampin, who is a single expansion, like the Vav, who is a single line, without another clinging to it. This means that the illumination of Chasadim on the right governs him, and there is no dvekut from the disclosure of Chokhmah in the left there. Rather, he alone expands and includes all of them, even the left, and he is one. Which is to say that although he comprises the illumination of Chokhmah as well, this is one, still only the right governs him, which is only the illumination of Chasadim. 129. At that time, the Malchut is corrected and decorated, receiving mochin from Ima. The caretakers admit her into her husband, the Ampin, meaning the maidens, with great secrecy, and say, "Blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever." It is in secret, for this is how she should be admitted to her husband, the Ampin. Happy is the people who know it and establish the upper order of faith, Malchut. It means, in secret, means that they hide Malchut herself and include her in the Ampin, because Malchut is built from the left line of Ima. Hence, her essence is primarily only reception of Chokhmah from the left. And because here is the unification only for imparting Chasadim, it follows that her own essence is hidden during the Zivug. This is considered that Malchut mates in secret, that her own essence is not heard, but she receives the Chasadim from him. This is why we say, "Blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever," in secret, or in a whisper. For we must be careful not to stir up whatsoever the Chokhmah that is included in those Chasadim Dezampin, which are considered Malchut, but rather evoke only extension of Chasadim. 130. When the queen's husband, the Ampin, and the queen unite as one, a clarion comes out of the south. "Awaken, O armies and camps, those who showed the love to their master, those who caused this zivug." 131. At that time, a certain high appointee awakens, whose name is Boel, the minister of the camps. In his hand are the 4 keys which he receives from the 4 directions of the world, Hugtum. 1 key is inscribed with the letter Yud, 1 key with the letter He, and 1 key is inscribed with the letter Vav. He places these 3 keys under the tree of life, Zerampin, and these keys that were inscribed in these 3 letters become one. And once they become one, the other key, the bottom He, rises, stands, and unites with that key that contains 3 keys. All those camps and armies enter 2 keys inside the garden, which are Vav He, and all unify as below, as do Israel. The angel Boel is the carrier of Malchut's dinim, judgments, Azur. Malchut is in bronze, dinim de Zerampin, and in gold, dinim de Gvua, the dinim of the domination of the left line, which does not wish to bond with the right. This is the angel Boel, as it is written, and a God who has indignation every day, due to the dinim of Boel. When people repent wholeheartedly and raise man to the Ampin, who rises with these dinim, which is Masach de Chirik, and through them sentences between the 2 lines, right and left, by that the Mochin come out, and the Ampin imparts them to Malchut in a Zivug. It follows that now the dinim have turned into great merits, or virtues, and were it not for the dinim, the Ampin would not be able to determine between the lines, right and left, and there would not be Mochin in Bina or in the Ampin, nor would there be a Zivug between the Ampin and Malchut. When a Zivug of the Ampin and Malchut takes place, the clarion that those angels showed the love of the Zivug to their master comes out, and then a high appointee awakens, whose name is Boel, the carrier of Malchut's dinim. Through his dinim, the Ampin rose and determined between the 2 lines, right and left, by which the Mochin in Bina and the Ampin came out, and the Zivug between the Ampin and Malchut was conducted. It follows that Angel Boel is the one who revealed the love of Zivug, of mating, to the Ampin and Malchut, and hence he was awakened by the clarion. In his hands are 4 keys which he receives from the 4 winds of the world. This is so because the lower one is rewarded with the lights that it causes in the upper one, since Boel caused the exit of the mochin in the Ampin, which are the three lines Yud He Vav, and the zivug between the Ampin and Malchut, which is the bottom He. He was therefore rewarded with them as well. In him they are called 4 keys, because his dinim opened those mochin. And those keys that were inscribed in 3 letters became 1, because they are the 3 lines of the Ampin implied in Yud He Vav, and the Ampin is 1. Hence, he placed them under the tree of life, the Ampin, and then the other key, the bottom He, rises, stands, and unites in the key that includes 3 keys, Malchut, that connects with the Ampin, who caused it and was therefore rewarded with them. And all the angels that are included and extend from the angel Boel also rise and receive mochin from the 2 keys, the Ampin and Malchut. 132. The words "Hear, O Israel" are the first Havaya, the shimot of the letter Yud in the holy name, which implies Abba. Our God is the Reshimot of the first He in the holy name, which implies Ima. The second Havaya is extensions of mochin from Abba Ve'ima, which are drawn below in the Shimo of the letter Vav of the holy name. This implies the Ampin, because these 2 letters Yud He extend into being in this place in the letter Vav, the Ampin. It is 1, meaning that all those 3, Abba Ve'ima and the Ampin, are 1 in a single unification. 133. Because all those became 1 in a single unification, everything remained in the letter Vav, meaning that all the mochin remained in the Ampin, Vav, and he is whole from the Rosh, or the top of the fountain, Abba, and from the inner palace, Ima, and inherits Abba Ve'ima. At that time, the queen Malchut is brought into him, since he is now complete with all the upper goodness and can nourish her, giving her proper food and provision. All those organs of his, the Sfirot, are all 1. At that time, she is let in a whisper, so that no stranger interferes with the joy. As it is written, and a stranger does not share its joy, so that the Sitra Acha will not be drawn into the nurse from the illumination of the Zivug. Rav, we do not part from the correct intention. We anticipate the reforming light. Please continue. 134. Because the Ampin united above in Vak, Malchut too unites in other Vaks below, Chagad Nehi of the Mochin, to be 1 above and below. As it is written, the Lord will be 1, the Ampin, and his name 1, Malchut. 1 above in Vak, as it is written, Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, the Lord is 1. These are 6 words corresponding to Vak. Blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever, are another Vak in 6 words. The Lord is 1, above in the Ampin, and his name is 1, below in Malchut. 135. Thus, why does it say 1 only above in the Ampin? Hear, O Israel, in Hear, O Israel, but below, in Malchut, in the blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever, it does not write 1. Indeed, ve'echad and ever, written with Vav Ayin Dalet in Hebrew, is with reversed letters, since Aleph is replaced with Vav, Chet, and Ayin, and Va'ed, and ever becomes the letters Echad, 1. The male letters are not replaced. The female letters are replaced. This is the advantage of the male over the female, to prevent the evil eye from ruling, meaning Sitra Acha. We replace the letters and do not say 1 openly, but Ve'echad. In the future, when the evil eye is removed from the world and does not govern, Malchut will be called Echad, 1 openly, because now that the Sitra Acha is adhered to her, it is written, her legs go down to death. She is not 1, but we unite her in a whisper, in replacing with other letters and by saying Ve'echad instead of Echad. instead of Echad. 136. But in the future, when the Sitra Achad parts from her and is removed from the world, Malchut will certainly be called one, for there will be no other association and dvekut, or adhesion with her. As it is written, on that day the Lord will be one and his name one. That is, Malchut too, which is called his name, will openly be one with him, with a Zerampin, not in a whisper and not secretly. 137. This is the reason why we unify her now, to bring her out of the Sitra Acha, as one who invites another to be his witness, Zerampin, who becomes her witness that she is one. Since Zerampin is our witness and the Sitra Acha is not a witness for us, and then she parts from the Sitra Acha. Once she has come to Zerampin, we raise her to the chuppah, the wedding canopy, to her husband, the upper king, Zerampin, with all the will and the intention of the heart, and hence she is one. Malchut has judgments on the left and Masach the Chirik, which is in Chazeh Zerampin, since she is from his Chazeh and down. The Sitra Acha grips these dinim, these judgments, and then she is not one. But once the Zerampin raises those dinim and through them determines between the lines right and left, revealing all the mochin in the world, he testifies to these dinim that they are not dinim but rather great virtues, and she becomes one like Zerampin. 138. When she comes with her maidens, the 7 halls of Bria, and wishes to part from the Sitra Acha, she comes only as one who has been summoned to see the glory of the king, and not more. And so it is declared that they should come to see the glory of the king. As it is written, "Go forth, O daughters of Zion, and gaze upon King Solomon, King Shlomo," meaning, go forth to see the glory of the king. Then, the Sitra Acha does not wish to see, and parts from the Malchut. Once she comes, all her servants, the maidens, usher her into the chuppah with the upper king, Zerampin, and whisper in secret. Were it not so, the Sitra Acha would not have parted her, and the joy would have been confused. But in the future, when the Sitra Acha parts from her, on that day the Lord will be one, and his name one. This is so because the dinim pass away from the nukva only after she sees the great mochin that Zerampin extended through her dinim. Hence, how can she come into unification with Zerampin while she has not seen and is with dinim? This is why it was said that she does not really come for unification, but only to see the glory of the king, the mochin that Zerampin extended through her dinim. And once she sees it, the dinim are revoked. The Sitra Acha parts from her, and then she unites with Zerampin in the chuppah. 139. Once she has entered the chuppah and is with the upper king Zerampin, we evoke joy of the mochin of the right and left, as it is written, "And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart." This is the right. "And it shall come to pass, if you shall surely hear the voice of the Lord your God," is left, without any fear of the Sitra Acha, because the Sitra Acha will not come near, and has no permission. 140. As long as there is desire to bring the bride, Malchut, into the king for the joy of Zivug, it must be in a whisper and in secret, to avoid any hint of the evil side from being in the steps of her feet. So it does not cling to her, and no flaw will be present in the children, in Israel below. Having to hide herself, who is the extension of Chokhmah, is regarded as being in a whisper and in secret, and including her in Zerampin, so she receives chasadim from him. It is so because as long as the complete correction has not been established, it is written about her, and her legs go down to death. Meaning that there is dvekut in the Sitra Acha, who is called death at her end. 141. Thus said Yaakov to his sons, "Perhaps a flaw occurred in my bed. His sons replied, "As there is only one in your heart, we have no dvekut with the Sitra Acha whatsoever, because he is separated from your bed, and we are in unity with the upper king Zerampin, and have no dvekut at all with the Sitra Acha, as separation from the Sitra Acha was our will and our thought." 142. Rav. Intentions, friends, intentions. When Yaakov knew that the Sitra Acha did not cling there at all, the woman, Malchut, entered her husband, Zerampin, in a whisper in the unification of Vak in Hear, O Israel. Yaakov started and said, "Blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever, since Malchut is one with her maidens, without any mixtures and without participation of the Sitra Acha." 143. At that time, Yaakov and his sons were below, in the upper form with divinity. Yaakov was the Vak of the upper world, one, Zerampin, and his sons were in the form of Vak of the lower world, Malchut. Yaakov wished to disclose that end, Malchut, to them, to make the unification openly and not in a whisper. We established that there is the end of the right and the end of days. The end of the right is the holy Malchut, faith, the kingdom of heaven. The end of days is the wicked Malchut, the Sitra Acha, who is called the end of all flesh. 144. When he saw that divinity has parted from him because he wanted to make the unification openly, to disclose the end, the tribe said, "As there is only one in your heart, for you are in the upper world, which is one. So we, who are in the lower world, Malchut, have only one in our hearts." This is why two hearts are mentioned here. As there is none in your heart, there is none in our heart, since the upper world, Zerampin, is Yaakov's heart, and the lower world, Malchut, is the heart of the children. Then they brought Malchut in a whisper. 145. And as they were unified in the upper world in one, and the lower world in one, we must also unify the upper world in one, and to unify the lower world in one. This is in Vak, and that is in Vak. And since this is the reason why there are 6 words in Hear, O Israel, Vak, and 6 words in Blessed be the name of the glory of his kingdom forever and ever, Vak, in Hebrew, and this is the Lord is one and his name one, happy is the lot and share of he who noticed it in this world and in the next world. 146. These words are destined to be deliberated before Atik Yomin without any shame at all. 147. It is a commandment to study Torah each day, as it is the upper faith to know the ways of the Creator, for all who engage in Torah are rewarded in this world and in the next world, and are saved from all the evil slanders. It is so because the Torah is the faith, and one who engages in it engages in the upper faith, and the Creator instills His divinity within him, so that she does not part from him. 148. One who knows a word of Torah should be chaste, pursued, and that matter should be learned from him. To keep that verse, from every man whose heart moves him, you shall take my donation. The Torah is the tree of life, to give life to all who strengthen in the Torah, who strengthen in the tree of life, as it is written, she is a tree of life to they who hold her. 149. There are several high secrets in those who engage in Torah, who are rewarded with attachment with the upper Torah, Zerampin. They do not leave it in this world and do not leave it in the next world. Even in the grave, his lips utter Torah, as it is written, moving the lips of those who are asleep. Rav, questions?
No.
Yes.
Rav,
should we be under pressure during the reading to search? Rav, that doesn't depend on the reading, that depends on you. The reader is under pressure, that's obvious, because he has responsibility. He's responsible for you hearing. He has this intention that you add your own correct intentions, so he has additional pressure. And what is your pressure about? It's as if you're entering a doorway. First you look for the door and then you enter, and and constantly you're being pushed out, and again you look for the door, and you're always in tension. Rav, that's very good. So you're constantly in scrutiny. That's how it should be. What's the problem? You said that we need to expect or yearn for a cure from the light. Rav, a cure for what? What are you sick with? I don't feel that. I don't. Rav, do you want to attain something? Yes. Do you have a lack? Yes. Rav, what lack? To feel the connection. Rav, connection is a means. Yes, and there in the connection, to find the correct intention, and as we study to perform everything that you advise us to do. Rav, you're talking around it. It's not yours. What do you want? I don't know. I want to find my role there, Rav, which is great. Which is what? Perhaps to help the friends. Rav, that's artificial. But let's say that yes, I want to come to a state where I want to help the friends. Yes. What next? That's not the goal, to help the friends. It's also a means for something, for an end. Go all the way through, to the end. I can't find that one myself. Rav, I heard that it's written that we need to come to equivalence of form. With who? With the Creator. What does He want? For me to come to adhesion with Him? He wants to bestow, to do good by us, right? So, I too want, via the reading or the hearing of the Zohar, it's skula, it's special power. Through that special power, I want to come to a state where I do good to Him. And if I don't have that desire, I want to have that desire, and only that, and nothing else besides. Only that. Well, is that tough? Is that difficult? Yes, but there is a problem. I can't go through the friends. I mean, the friends aren't like a means, but rather a goal. Rav, together with the friends are also included in it. You, together with the friends, want to reach the Creator, to press upon Him, to bestow contentment upon Him. Not Creator and contentment, but rather that I will have this need. I ask for this from the Reforming Light, to give me a motivation, an urge to, with the friends, with the whole world, to come to bestow contentment upon Him. Well, why are you looking at me? It's not clear what it means to bestow contentment. What can I give my friends? Because, well, Rav, what they lack. The Creator has only one lack. He wants to enjoy us. For now, He only has trouble from us. He wants to enjoy us. We want to delight Him. Think only of that. You don't need anything else. In this, you go over the entire formation or form of creation and the Creator who made it and the way you relate to Him. I, from the Reforming Light, I wanted to bring me the desire to bestow contentment upon the Creator. Write it down. Write it. It's good. Go over it several times and you'll begin to feel that this necessity will come, a need, a lack, and that's how it is, gradually. All right? There are no... my friend isn't here today. Amnon, who asks a question. No? Well, we have friends who are downstairs.
בסדר, תתחיל.
All right, we'll continue. We have 5 minutes more. They will take a donation from me, 150. They will take a donation from me is the unification of above, Ze'ampin, and of below, Malchut, in a single collective. For me is Ze'ampin, and donation is Malchut. It does not say take a donation, but take a donation from me, which implies in one collective, above and below, without any separation. 151. From every man whose heart moves him, this verse should have said every man. What is from every man? It is for those who sit on the judgment throne. Happy are the righteous who know how to aim their heart's desire for the upper, holy king. And all their heart's desire is not for this world and for its idle lust, but they know and exert to aim their desire for clinging above, to extend their master's will in them from above downwards. 152. From which place do they take their master's will to extend it to them? They take it from a high and holy place, from which all are holy wills. This is every man, righteous, Yesod Ze'ampin, who is called every or all. As it is written, the advantage of a lad is in everything. And as it is written, therefore I esteem right all your precepts concerning everything. Man is a righteous man, is righteous, the master of the house, Yesod, the master of Malchut, who is called house. His will is always to the queen, Malchut, as a husband who always loves his wife. His heart moves him, meaning that he loves her. His heart is the queen, Malchut, his queen, who is called a heart. Moves him means to cling to him. 153. And even though they have great love for one another and they never part, still, from every man, meaning Yesod, the master of the house, the queen's husband, you shall raise my donation. Malchut, it is customary that if there is an attempt to take a woman from her husband, he is vigilant and does not leave her. But the Creator is not so, as it is written, and this is the donation, meaning the assembly of Israel, Malchut, that despite all her love for him and his love for her, she is taken from him to be among them. From a high place where every love between a wife and her husband is present, Yesod. From there you shall raise my donation. Happy are Israel, and happy are all who are rewarded with it. 154. And this is the donation which you shall take from them. But should it not have said that you shall take from him, from Yesod? What is the meaning of from them? It is from the two names Yesod and Malchut together, that he will not take it from herself, but from the two of them together. This is why it is written from them. 155. From them is spelled from Mem in Hebrew, meaning the upper world, Nihim de Bina, Yishsut, the residence of that righteous Yesod de Bina, who is crowned with the letter Samech, upper Abba V'Ima, Chabad Chagat de Bina, from which he receives life to feed all the worlds. They receive the donation, Malchut, from Yesod de Bina, and it is all one thing. The secret is handed down to the wise. Happy are they. Abba V'Ima is called Samech, Yishsut is called Mem. Ze'ampin in Gadlut inherits these Mochin, and there are two kinds of Mochin in his Rosh, Samech and Mem. Malchut having to be taken from Yesod means the Yesod de Bina is in the Rosh of Ze'ampin, from which he takes the Malchut de Gal.
שבט אחים